Since Marvel Strike Force is a game of managing your resources, it's always a big decision whether you should invest in this character or invest in that character, because a wrong decision could cripple your account for months. And in this video, we're gonna make it easy for you. We're gonna count down the best characters to farm, the best characters to build that's gonna have the biggest impact in your roster. And if you're ready for that Valley Club, then you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Valley Maniacs. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I'm ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great day. In this video, we're going to make it easy for you. We're going to count down the best free-to-play characters, aka best farmable characters that you can start to build right now in Marvel Strike Force. These are the characters that is going to take your account to the next level. Now, this is your first time here on the channel, hit that subscribe button because we have at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. There may be a little bit more because we were on vacation, so we're kind of trying to play catch up with some of these videos. But yes, if you want all the latest tips, tricks to help you in Marvel Strike Force, this is the place to be, with news videos, question answer videos, countdown videos like this. And we're going to count down the best characters in Marvel Strike Force. Now, this is based on a few different factors, a few different game modes. And in my opinion, Arena is the most valuable game mode, especially with that event starting later today. But Arena is going to be where you're going to get the most power cores, which you could use in all game modes to help you in a variety of ways. So in my opinion, Arena is the most important game mode, and we are basing our recommendations and countdowns on Arena being the most valuable game mode. Next, in my opinion, is these incursion raids, because this is where we're going to get the valuable Tier 18 pieces to get into Dark Dimension 6. So your raid teams, including the Death Sea team, Rebirth team, Invaders, and the Bifrost, which are the set teams for the incursion raids right now, they are going to get a little bit more love than some of the other non-raid characters. And Cosmic Crucible is also a very important game mode. A lot of great resources there. That is where you're going to get Quicksilver. So Cosmic Crucible is next on the list, and after that is War, and then after War is every other game mode like Tower, Pocket Dimension, and we also take these events into account like Chaos Theory and Block Party, because these come around every month or so, and you want to get the characters for these. Now, with that said, there's a lot of characters that don't qualify for this list, and honestly, it is some of the best characters in the game. Like our Horsemen, like our Dark Dimension characters. These characters are not eligible. If they're not available on a node, they're not available in a store, if they're not a permanent legendary or an achievement login character, then they are not going to be eligible to make it on this list. Now, there's a few characters that are kind of questionable, kind of on the fringe. For right now, at least for this month, they're not going to be eligible for this list, and that is Deathlock, available in the Arena orb right now, not in the store yet, but in the orb, so he doesn't count. And then Quicksilver and Big Time Spider-Man, you can get these with your Cosmic Crucible rewards. You're getting Big Time Spider-Man with your raid rewards. It probably should count because you're just getting these shards just by doing your normal activity. But at least for this month, they're not going to be counting on this list. But next month, that may change. Now, who recently got eligible for this list? Well, let's clear this not yet farmable off. Talk about the characters that were just made eligible since the last time we did this list back in May. Sunfire added to the Blitz store straight up, not going to the orb and then to the store. He's in the store right now. Brawn was in just the orb, now is available in a store as well, so you can get your bronze shards and Sunfire shards in that Blitz store. Nakia was added to the War store since we did this list, so you can start to get some shards for her. Valuable member of that War Dogs team on War offense, and of course for those Wakandans on Crucible defense. And we also have Agatha, who was recently added to the Cosmic Crucible stores. So let's clear this list off. Let's get to this list, July of 2023. And coming in this month, kind of by default, because this character is on one of these raid teams, and it is Loki. There's not a lot of farmable characters that are available for Bifrost, Invaders, Rebirth, and the Death Seed. He is one of them, so he kind of makes that list, this list by default. Obviously, once we have that full Bifrost team, is going to be very, very good in the raids. I'm hearing some combinations of Val and Loki, along with Eternals and some of the other characters, do very well in the Mystic section of the raids, but this is more of a character that we're adding on this list because what you're going to need for the future. Now, I still like to use him in that Eternal matchup in War offense, giving them the speed so Cersei goes before Ikaris and just smashing through those hero Asgardians. Although they're not really a meta team anymore, I think that's one of the most fun matchups in the game. So Loki kind of gets this by default. Also, okay in Cosmic Crucible. using it on Cosmic Crucible defense, not really on offense, but to provide a little more trickiness, some annoyance for my opponents. And as far as his kit, well, the good thing about Loki right now, you don't need a lot of these T4s. He has a pretty good kit, and I think a lot of what you're using him for as far as these T4s is to get him ready for these raids. But if you don't have all those T4s in him, I think that is fine. He is not a really highly T4 intensive character. Now, as far as where you can farm him, well, he's available in the raid supply store. And as far as the best ISO 8 for this character, Skirmisher seems to be the best class for Loki on MSF.gg, or excuse me, MarvelStrikeForce.com. They did change their name, with 60% of the users on MarvelStrikeForce.com having that Skirmisher tag attached to Loki. Let's move on with the countdown. Coming in at number 9 this month. No change from last month. And again, number 9 is the spot is filled by Spider-Man 2099. And he's a very good character in Cosmic Crucible, pairs well at Tangled Web team, where you still have to see what's going to happen in season 4, how the devs are going to still maintain value by still not have those crazy like locked in room bonuses. So yeah, he's still 2099 still has a lot of value right now. He's available in the Cosmic Crucible store along with Agatha Harkness, but very, very good for Cosmic Crucible. Very good for War as well. The combination of Weaver and 2099 is a deadly pair. What you're going to use him mainly for is those two modes. Doesn't have a lot of value in Arena, doesn't have a lot of value in the raids right now. So you're mainly having this character for Cosmic Crucible and War, but he does have a very good kit. Let's take a look at why he is such a powerful character. And there's two moves that I do want to mention. His opening move, his ultimate, is a long cooldown, but it attacks all the enemies and clears 3 random positive effects. And this special where you're also getting this extra focus and you're giving some extra value to the Tangled Web. So those are the 2 T4s that I would equip on Spider-Man 2099. And like I said, he's available in the Crucible store. We have 2 main classes. Raider seems to be losing a little bit of popularity, while the Skirmisher class seems to be increasing in popularity. 65% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com still have that Raider class attached to Spider-Man 2099, but Skirmisher up to 30%, up a little bit from the last time we did this list. So you got 2 classes to choose from, and I guess it's based on what you're going to use this character for. Let's move on with this list, and coming in at the number 8 spot, unfortunately no change from last month, is Gambit. And Gambit is still a pain, especially when you face him in the raids. So not necessarily on your team, but Gambit, that character is so annoying. Now, what he's going to add to your team is all those extra pings, especially on Cosmic Crucible. And that's mainly where you're going to use them right now. In Cosmic Crucible and War, you're not getting a lot of arena or raid value from Gambit, but he still is one of the top characters in the game. Let's go take a look at his kit, see why he is such a strong character. And kind of like 2099, I like his ultimate and I like his passive. He has this big AoE attack or 390% damage without the T4. That damage goes up when you have that T4 and by 130%. Disrupted, very, very strong move, but I think one of his best moves is this pick a card, this passive that he has. Crucible, he's going to fill the speed bar for his character. He's going to gain more max health, and I like these passives that help the entire team that he's on. Gambit, great character, did lose a lot of value since we're losing some value from the Unlimited. They're not as strong as they once were in Cosmic Crucible, but if you want to get Gambit, you can use him to unlock Apocalypse because he is part of that Horseman team. You could also use him to unlock Magneto because he's a mutant. And as far as the most popular ISO 8 class for Gambit, it is Raider. Like 85% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com have that Raider class attached to Gambit, and he could be farmable in the Cosmic Crucible store like 2099. Let's go back and check out this list. Let's continue on with the countdown. Coming in at number 7 this month is our OG version of Captain America. Yes, still running strong. And other than Winter Soldier, is the only Rebirth member that you can farm nowadays. So because of that, because of his use in the raids, he does still make this number 7 spot. Did lose a little bit of a value from last month, dropping down 2 spots, but is still a very good character, especially in the raids, and is kind of required in that Room 6 and Cosmic Crucible D. Captain America, Captain Carter, that duo makes that room very, very annoying. So both of these characters very, very good. Captain Carter's not farmable, so America makes a spot this month. Let's take a look at his kit, see why he is such a great character in the raids. Well, he has a bunch of different moves that were used since global launch. This inspired move had a bunch of rework since then, but still one of the best specials in the game with 3 turn cooldowns, doing all negative effects from self. I also like this ultimate where you're doing some damage, removing positive effects, chaining to additional targets with the T4 on there. So this ultimate is very good. And of course, this passive, if you're serious at all about competing in the raids and simming these raids using this rebirth team, this is one of the T4s that you need to make this team work. So special, ultimate, and passive for Captain America. You could farm him on Nexus 1-3. And as far as the most important ISO 8 class, healer still seems to be the most popular choice of MarvelStrikeForce.com users, with 54% having that healer class attached. But Fortifier, and that I think is because of the Cosmic Crucible, is gaining more popularity, with 26% of users having that Fortifier class attached to Captain America. Moving on with this list, though, coming in the number 6 spot, moving up 1 spot from last month, is Dagger, and just Cloak is going to be right next to number 5 spot. But the reason that Cloak still maintains that top spot, I think, as an individual character, Cloak is a little better. As a duo, Dagger is a little better. So you can flip-flop this 5 and 6 spot, but for this list, I think Dagger is a little better. You could get her in an arena store, which is very good. You could also farm her in the hard villains campaigns of 4-6, and she is going to add a lot of damage. She's going to add that healing to that team. That new warriors is nothing to sneeze at in Cosmic Crucible, but unfortunately they're more of a Cosmic Crucible team. But you remember how Cloak, Dagger, and Deathpool originally were designed as raid characters. So until we get that full Bifrost team, you can still use Cloak and Dagger in the raids or as backup characters, because Val can smash it with a lot of the characters there. But backup characters in raids, primary characters on Cosmic Crucible offense, and backup characters on War offense as well. But looks to be very, very good. We have this big ultimate doing a lot of damage here. We also have this special, which adds some healing. And then, of course, we have a big passive here that helps all the new warrior allies as well. So these are the kind of T4s that I like. So you could do the passive, the ultimate, and special for Dagger. As far as the ISO 8 class, most popular ISO 8 class for Dagger is Striker. Still Striker, with 79% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com having that Striker class attached to Dagger. Let's move on. You guys know who is in that number 5 spot. It's hard to separate the two of these, but Cloak coming in number 5 spot this month. Like I said, you can flip-flop them based on whether you're wanting to value them for more their individual value or their value as Cloak and Dagger. And like I said, if you're using Cloak and Dagger, which I think you should, Dagger gets a little bit more value. So you can flip-flop this spot, but Cloak is available, very easy to get in the raids, or if you have him in that rotation. It is very cheap currency, but actually have him pop up in the raid source sometimes can take a little bit of luck. Also available on Villain 2-6 though, if you want to get some shards for your Cloak. Let's go take a look at his kit real quick, see why he is such a beast in Cosmic Crucible. He has a strong ultimate, clearing positive effects from the primary target. I love using this ultimate though. Create a big AU attack, applying a bunch of random negative effects. And of course, like a lot of these characters, you do need to do their passive because it affects the entire team. More focus for himself, more focus for new warrior allies. This is a great T4 and is a great character. And if you want to start to build them, the most popular class on MarvelStrikeForce.com is that Skirmisher class, with 86% of users with Skirmisher attached to Cloak. Let's move on the list. Coming at number 4 this month is our boy Magneto, one of the Horseman characters. You do need to build him if you want to unlock Apocalypse, so he does get that value. And of course, he is on that Death Seed team, one of the major characters on that Death Seed team, whether you're using Death Seed in the raids, just clear up that mutant section, whether you're using Death Seed on Crucible defense to annoy your opponents, or whether you're using Death Seed to counter that Rebirth team in Room 6. The Death Seed team does have a lot of value, and other than Archangel, I think Magneto may be one of the most important characters because he does that opening move. Dark Beast is also very good. Nemesis is also very good. They're not bad characters either. But Magneto, very, very good on this team. Let's take a look at why he is such an important member of this Death Seed team. As we check out his kit, he has a strong special here, removing positive effects. In the raids, he's doing ability blocks. So this is very important, especially in the raids. Not as important in Crucible, but this move is very important. And getting that 30% extra damage to the primary, secondary targets doesn't seem like a lot, but that could be the difference between you clearing a node and not clearing a node, or you beating their Captain Carter or not beating their Captain Carter. And of course, this passive, because it's gonna give, he's gonna give the ability energy. It's gonna allow you to do that ultimate over and over and over again. This is an important one if you want to use this Death Seed in a raid. It's maybe not as important if you're just using them as a counter to the Rebirth and Cosmic Crucible, but in the raids, this is one of the more important T4s. Otherwise, that Magneto ultimate is not going to be charged up. And if you want to get Magneto, obviously he's a permanent and legendary, so get your mutants for him. But on a non-Death Seed team, Raider still seems to be the most popular choice for Magneto. 48% of users are still having that Raider class attached to Magneto, although it is dropping. But if you're using him on Death Seed, I think Striker is the best class for him, with 33% of users having that Striker class attached to Magneto. Moving on with this list, though, let's see. We only have 3 spots left, and I think you can guess who they are. Coming at number 3 is the same character that we had at number 3 last month in Cersei. Very, very good character. Very important part of the Mystic raids right now. Now, that will be changing once we get that full Bifrost team, but I think the best solution to the Mystic raids before we get the full Bifrost team is still the Eternals, Val, and some other characters there. But in Cosmic Crucible, where they're using these Eternals on offense or defense, very, very good team. And if you don't have Apocalypse in your arena shards, these Eternals are still going to do a lot of damage in arena as well. But mainly nowadays, more of a Cosmic Crucible team. Raid team for now, although next month they probably won't be. And of course, in War, like I said, one of my favorite things to do is Loki, Eternals against the Hero Asgard, and just blow everybody up in like 3 moves. So that's a very, very fun thing for me. Maybe not the most efficient for winning wars, but as far as just the funness, I think that they had a lot of fun factor there. All right, Cersei, her kit. She has a strong passive. She has a strong ultimate. She has a strong special. I would do all of these. 91% of users have the passive T-Ford. 89% of users have the ultimate T-Ford, and 82% of users have that special T-Ford. A lot of this was back in the day when she was a staple in the arena, but yeah, you do a lot. And I think this ultimate is her best move. It's going to attack all enemies and reducing the speed bar for all enemies as well. So damage, speed bar reduction. What more could you want in a character, guys? Cersei deservingly gets this number 3 spot. And I guess it's kind of like a scenario with Ikaris as well. If you have them as solo characters, Cersei seems to work a little better. But with the Eternals combo, Ikaris works a little better. So you could flip-flop them as well based on how are you using them. But I think kind of like the Cloak and Dagger, you want them on the same team. At number 2 this month is Nick Fury, and he is the only farmable member of this Invader team, which is why he is getting the nod on this list so high, because he's the only farmable member. Now, is he a great character? Yes, he provides a lot of value in multiple game modes. He's a great candidate for Dark Dimension 6 because of his legendary tag. Also, you could use him as a backup character if you don't have Kang in Arena. I've been using Kang in Arena offense for a long time, but before I switched to Kang, Nick Fury was a pretty consistent option as well with the minions that he could summon. Also, like I mentioned, Invader team, farmable. You need him for the Invader team, so just for that, very, very good. And I'm using him on offense and that Walking Hate team, countering the Unlimited X-Men on Cosmic Crucible, and is a very good war character as well. Let's go take a look at his kit, see what makes him tick. He generates ability energy on each crit, which I like. He summons characters. He summons Shield Operatives, Shield Securities. Shield Operatives will help with your survivability, giving you some healing. Shield Security will help with your survivability because they spawn with taunt. So either way, he is getting some value for your team. And in Cosmic Crucible, in raids, in arena, he's giving some value to your team. Now, this is not a hugely popular T4 with this passive here, but on turn, he is going to apply speed up to self, shield minion allies, Coulson and Kestrel allies. So in a lot of the teams that you're going to use him on, you are going to get that value from him, but not always. So I think with these the improvement of his minions, I think that improved this passive as well. So a lot of great options for Nick Fury. I think he is worthy of that #2 spot, especially with him being the only farmable invader right now. There's two different classes that you could use for Nick Fury. One on this invader team and one off the invader team. I think the more popular choice off the invader team, where 52% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com have that healer class attached to Nick Fury. But I think on this invader team, you're going to want Raider attached to him, with 29% of users having that Raider class attached to Nick Fury. And of course, he is a permanent legendary, so get your other shield characters ready if you want to farm him. Great character and is needed in multiple game modes nowadays. And if you do manage to get through Dark Dimension 6, you could get that awesome Skrull costume for him. But let's move on. I think it's no surprise who is #1. He's been in #1 in my book for so long. It is Ikaris. He has had many metas come and go, but the Eternals still are relevant in this current meta that we are in right now. And they're very, very good. If you don't have Apocalypse in your arena shard, you could still use these Eternals for a lot of value there. But I think the main value you're going to get is the Rage right now. But kind of like Cersei, once this full Bifrost team comes to the game, Eternals, you're not using them in a Rage. They're gone by the wayside. So they're going to be more of a Cosmic Crucible and a War team. Their value would drop significantly because they're not going to be involved in most of the arena meta or the raids meta, but currently they are still in the raid meta as we're making this. But yes, very, very good in War, very good in Cosmic Crucible. He has a very strong kit, and like I said, if you have him with Cersei, I think he's the better character. If you're using them as standalone characters, I think Cersei is a little bit better, but it does a lot. As this passive helps Cersei and Ikaris. A lot of users have this T4 for his use back in arena nowadays. This is probably my favorite move that he does, this ultimate. The T4 is going to give you more damage on all attacks if Cersei and ally, flipping positive effects and negative effects on all allies. I don't think I've done this ultimate without Cersei on the field, so this one always goes off. Now, you do want to try to time this ultimate so that you're going to get killed, so you can get that double ping from Ikaris, not just that single ping. The special is also very good, giving you your death proofs. Ikaris is just a very strong character, and I think Striker by far is the #1 class for Ikaris. 91% of users on MSF.GG have that Striker class attached to him. And that is it for this list, but that is not all for this video, because there's a lot of other characters that should be on this list that didn't quite make it. Let's talk about the Horseman team characters. We got Wong, Scarlet Witch, Heartless Doctor Strange, the recently made farmable Agatha, Hulk, Cho, Abomination, She-Hulk, Phantom X, Dazzler, Psylocke. You're gonna need all those characters if you want to get a big Apocalypse. We also have the Rebirth character, the other Rebirth character that is not mentioned on this list in Winter Soldier. Hela and Undying is still very, very important nowadays. And kind of by default, the Bionic Avengers are still there. We don't have a tech solution. Bionic Avengers are an okay solution in Vision, Iron Man, Vision, Hulkbuster. And let's not forget the Wakandan / War Dogs. They're used in Chaos Theory. They're used on defense in Cosmic Crucible. And they're used on offense in War. Shuri, Black Panther, Okoye, El Farmable. And let's add 1MM to that list. Let's add Nakia to that list as well. And of course, this would not be a countdown list without Nobu. But that is it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it helps you make a decision who you should be farming. And if you want to check out what are the best characters to use your dark promotion credits on, make sure you check out the mailbag video from yesterday. I will see you guys next time, though. Thanks for watching. Bit of Hulk Fist, but before you go, have a great rest of your day. ValleyFlyin out.